Hello, everyone! Today, we're going to talk about a very, very famous play. It's called Hamlet, and it was written by William Shakespeare. It is a tragedy, which means it's a very sad story, but it's also incredibly powerful. Let's find out why. You know, Hamlet was written more than 400 years ago. That's a really long time. So you might be asking, why do we still talk about this story today? What makes it so special? Well, that's what we're going to explore together. All right, let's start at the beginning. Our story takes place in a country called Denmark, inside a big, cold castle. And right away, something is wrong. People have seen a ghost walking around at night, and this ghost has a very important secret. Now let's meet our main character. This is Hamlet. He's the Prince of Denmark. But as you can see, he isn't happy. In fact, he is very, very sad because his father, the king, just died. And if that wasn't bad enough, something else has happened. Hamlet's mother, the queen, has married his uncle, Claudius, and now Claudius is the new king. To Hamlet, this feels all wrong. His mother married his uncle so quickly. It makes him feel angry and betrayed. Then things get even stranger. The ghost that people have seen, well, it appears to Hamlet, and it looks exactly like his father, the dead king. This ghost hasn't come back to say hello. It's come back to tell Hamlet something terrible. And here it is, the big secret. The ghost tells Hamlet that his death was not an accident. He was murdered. And who was the murderer? It was his own brother, Claudius, the new king. Wow, just imagine hearing that news. Hamlet's whole world is turned upside down. He's filled with sadness and so much anger. He knows he has to do something. He has to get revenge for his father's death. But wait a minute. Can you really trust a ghost? Hamlet isn't sure. What if the ghost is lying? He needs proof. So he comes up with a plan. He decides to act like he's crazy, so no one will guess what he's really thinking. And it's a very clever plan. Some actors come to the castle, and Hamlet asks them for help. He asks them to put on a special play. And this play will show a story about a king being murdered in the exact same way the ghost described. While the play is happening, Hamlet is not going to watch the actors. Nope. He's going to watch his uncle Claudius's face. And guess what? It worked. When the actors perform the murder scene, Claudius jumps up. He looks scared and angry, and he shouts for the play to stop. In that moment, Hamlet sees it all in his uncle's face. It's all the proof he needs. The ghost was telling the truth. So now Hamlet knows the truth. It's time for revenge, right? Well, this is where the story gets even sadder, because seeking revenge can be very dangerous, and things are about to go very, very wrong. Hamlet is arguing with his mother, and he hears a noise from behind a curtain. He thinks it's King Claudius hiding. So he takes out his sword and stabs through the curtain. But it wasn't Claudius. It was an old man named Polonius. And Polonius is the father of Ophelia, the woman Hamlet loves. What a terrible mistake. This one mistake leads to so much more tragedy. Ophelia is so heartbroken over her father's death that she goes mad, and she ends up drowning in a river. And now her brother, Laertes, is furious. His father is dead. His sister is dead. And he blames Hamlet. He wants revenge. Do you see what's happening here? We have two young men who have both lost their fathers. Hamlet wants revenge on Claudius, and now Laertes wants revenge on Hamlet. This whole idea of revenge is like a circle, a very dangerous one. So now, everyone is heading towards a final confrontation. You just know this isn't going to end well. All of this anger and sadness is about to explode in the story's tragic end. The evil King Claudius sees a chance. He knows Laertes is angry, so he helps him make a deadly plan. They will have a sword fight, but it won't be a fair fight. Laertes' sword will have poison on the tip, and just in case that doesn't work, Claudius will have a cup of poisoned wine ready for Hamlet. The final scene happens so fast. It's just one terrible thing after another. First, the queen accidentally drinks the poisoned wine and dies. Then, Laertes cuts Hamlet with the poisoned sword. But during the fight, they switch swords, and Hamlet cuts Laertes with the same poisoned sword. Finally, as he's dying, Hamlet makes sure Claudius gets his punishment and kills him. And then Hamlet himself dies. And just like that, it's over. Look at what happened. Hamlet got his revenge, but at what cost? The king, the queen, Laertes, and Hamlet They're all dead. The entire royal family is gone. So after all that death and sadness, what can we learn from this story? Why is it so important? Well, let's talk about the big idea at the heart of Hamlet. I think the story is trying to tell us something very important. Hamlet wanted justice, and that's understandable. But his need for revenge became like a fire, and that fire didn't just burn his enemy, it burned down everything and everyone around him, including himself. So, Hamlet leaves us with a really big question. When someone does something terrible to you, what's the better path? Is it better to seek revenge, which might destroy everything? Or is it better to find a way to forgive, even when it's hard? That's a question that is just as important today as it was 400 years ago. Thank you for listening.